Just when all hope seemed lost, Sonic fans was given a light, in the form of a Shadow, who is not only starring his own semi-DLC this year, but will be the main antagonist of the next installment of the Sonic movie franchise, Sonic Movie 3. And from what we've seen so far, it looks like it will be the best one yet. The budget has been bumped up, Shadow looks amazing, and the set pieces look crazy. I'm loving this. I'm just not in love with it, you know? Let me explain. Long story short, Shadow the Hedgehog is free, with mysterious and disastrous intentions, which leads Gun to enlist the help of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles to take him down. But with all their abilities proving to be no match for Shadow, Sonic has to make an alliance with the one person who almost beat him, Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman. This trailer does a really good job of showcasing that this is not SA2 the movie, rather than this is a movie inspired by SA2. Like the other Sonic movies, there'll probably be some direct set pieces from the games, but I'm happy to see their own set piece ideas outside of existing media. And in this footage, we kinda have a few examples of that. I see a lot of people saying the opening of the movie is some fight in London, but with some context from other scenes in the trailer, I think this opening scene is just one big race between the boys. For what reason, I have no idea, but it just seems like a fun thing to open the movie with. It'll probably be something akin to the tag scene in the Powerpuff Girls movie. Shout out to the 4 Sonic fans in the back who will get that reference. But aside from that, we get into the juicy stuff, the Shadow stuff. They obviously touched him up for Movie 2's post-credits scene, and I think he looks amazing. All his scenes look amazing, and I'm glad they're taking something like this really seriously, showing that Shadow is a force to be reckoned with. Anyone who doesn't have plot armor in this movie should be scared. So if you're a fan of the humans, I got bad news for you. And I just want to say, even though you don't see them, they're definitely here. They were already confirmed on a poster, they're just hiding them. The humans are definitely coming back. Do not think that for a second. But hopefully the writers have learned their lesson and will not make us sit through a makeshift Tyler Perry movie in the middle of my Sonic movie. Something I also wanted to bring up that I don't see a lot of people do is that Shadow looks freaking terrifying. Like, they really emphasize this in a lot of these shots. Even with Knuckles in the last movie when he was the villain, when he came into the scene, I still wanted to buy a marketable plushie of him. But Shadow, on the other hand, if I see this little gremlin outside of my house, I'm playing dead. Also, I have to hand it to Paramount, it looks like they're actually doing the backstory. Like, no joke, it looks like they're actually gonna do it. Now, for anyone who doesn't know the backstory for Shadow, I'm not going to say anything here, because I've been seeing casuals' reaction to this, and it's so funny seeing how they have no idea what's happening here, and how dark Shadow's story really is.
And I also don't know much about Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, if you show him to me, I know I can say who he is, but I don't know anything about his backstory, so I like they're making him have a little bit more of like a dark backstory and everything. But again, I doubt it's gonna go super dark.
Show him some love, and the power of love will change him. Because that's what he's missing. He's evil or bad or whatever because he wasn't shown love. But here, if you have family, and we all know each other, is this feeling?
What did they say?
You could feel this way for me. I could have love. Oh, my heart is melted. I see the error of my ways.
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious seeing people's reaction to this. Another thing we're seeing here is a set piece will be taking place in Tokyo. Instead of Station Square, we're getting Shibuya Square. A lot of people saw the boys jumping out of the helicopter and immediately thinking they're doing City Escape, but I don't think so. I think a lot of this is suggesting that they're doing Radical Highway. When Shadow's doing his Akira slide moment, he's sliding up something. He can't be just sliding up a random building like that. That's not how physics work. And when Sonic jumps after him, he looks like he's on top of some kind of bridge. I could be wrong, it's hard to tell because a lot of these scenes are cropped into focus. Trailers do that so they can hide some of their bigger set pieces so it can be more ambiguous. But that would be the smarter choice to do in this kind of setting in my opinion. Something I've noticed that I've seen no one talk about is that when they come through the helicopter, it goes through a ring. When I first saw this, I thought it was the moon for some reason until I took a second look. I don't know why, I just thought it was. Another thing I noticed, and I don't know if it's just me or not, but the helicopter they're in is glowing green, like a suspicious amount of green. Is it being powered by the Master Emerald? I really don't know. It could just be mean that the helicopter's lights are green, but the propellers are literally circling around and it looks like it's green inside, so something's powering it. Now, we don't see a lot of humans in this trailer, but we do get a bit of everyone's favorite human, Tom the cop, to which we see him on the ground at one point screaming for Sonic's name. I don't know if Shadow's going specifically after him, but it will break my heart to see Sonic lose his arrogant father. I've seen some theories that Tom's family might be involved with Shadow's backstory, And if it alludes to what I think it's alluding to, that would be a pretty sick twist. And he's wearing a gun uniform, so I have no idea if he's doing this to be undercover or something, but Tom's gonna be Tom. There is this part of the trailer where Sonic asks Shadow what has he done, and Shadow replies, what I had to. But I don't know, I don't think he's talking to Shadow in this scene. In fact, if you look in the background, it's the same shot to a scene we saw earlier in the trailer that looks to be with a bunch of police cars. And by the looks of the boys' faces, something really bad just happened. And when Sonic says, when has that ever stopped me, he looks really mad about something. So whoever he's talking to in this moment, it might be someone else. And we gotta talk about the end of the trailer. When it's revealed that Eggman will be meeting Gerald Robotnik, who is also played by Jim Carrey. It's a tangent for another day. I'm not the biggest fan of Jim Carrey as Eggman. I'm glad he's here and he does a good job. I was mixed about him in the first movie and I was better on him in the second one. Overall, he's not really playing Eggman, he's playing Jim Carrey playing Eggman, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, he pulls people in to see these movies, and I guess playing two characters kept him happy enough to come back for this one. But I did want to mention a theory I have about this whole movie in regards to Shadow's plans. It's a little crazy, but hear me out. I think Sonic Movie 3 is a time travel movie. Obviously, it doesn't make sense for Gerald to be alive. I think Shadow's plan is to make a time machine. In this shot here, it looks like he's powering something by going around this loop at a certain velocity. And in this scene, we see a portal opening up that's sucking everything in the room into it. In whatever way this is being pulled off, I think Shadow's going back in time to fix the past. His past specifically, which poses a big problem for Sonic because if Shadow goes and changes the past, it can affect Sonic's present, which means everything he built up in these last two movies will be erased. I feel like that's what Shadow's really trying to achieve in this movie, and that's the crux of what Sonic's trying to stop him doing, which also explains how Eggman can meet Gerald. But hey, all of this is a shot in the dark. This could be way off of what the main movie's plot is, and I can look really stupid right now. We're just gonna have to see. So everything in this movie looks hyped as heck, and I said I love it, so why am I not in love with it, like how I'm in love with Sonic 2? So it's time to bring up the elephant in the room. If you haven't noticed, which you did, Amy is not here again. Look, when I go into this, I want everyone to understand me clearly. There's no doubt in my mind that this movie is going to be nothing but amazing and will most likely be my favorite movie of 2024. But no, Amy, come on. Yes, initially when seeing the trailer, I was disappointed, as many of you were, that Amy was not there. It's crazy how there's been 3 movies and we haven't had one female character, especially the most important one out of the main core 4. Will this ruin the movie for me? Absolutely not. But I feel as if the last thing that would get me over the moon for this movie is she was in here. It's just the perfect time to bring her in this story. I love this version of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles with all of my heart, but no versions of these 3 will ever feel complete without her in it. I feel like you can have your moments to show them working together, but at some point in the middle of the plot, show how she would be added to the group, showing them how each 3 of them would adjust to her being there. So to everyone who's saying they can't put Amy in because it wouldn't feel natural, there are a million ways to make this feel natural for her to be here and tell this story. To the fans who think she is here, stop doing this to yourself. There is no human character from the trailers, and if there is one, it certainly wouldn't be Amy. They have absolutely no reason to do something like that. This is Sonic Movie 3, not Spider-Man 4. This is getting sad, so just understand this overall. Was Amy screwed over to not be in this one? Yes. Will I not have a good time watching this film because of it? Absolutely not. Will this movie be absolutely everything I want it to be? Probably not. Would Amy be the one thing to fix that? Probably. But will I let it stop me from being excited for this movie? No, and you shouldn't either. I love this world, I love these versions of the characters, I especially love Sonic. Ben Schwartz is a national treasure to this world. I am not at all saying this movie will not be good without Amy. I just think her presence would be that last little oomph that this movie needed. But regardless, we're just gonna have to be patient. Maybe she might show up in a post-credit scene. Even though I don't necessarily like that idea, cause I kinda feel like the only way we can top Shadows with Silver, and I kinda really want Silver. But on the topic of patience, that's kind of the last thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to this movie, is Sonic's arc being a test of patience. I feel like it's really interesting where it's going to clash Sonic and Shadow's ideologies together and how much Shadow is going to test Sonic and how much he's willing to do. From the very first interaction, Sonic has no intentions of hurting Shadow and just want to talk things out like the good boy he is. and Shadow is not hearing any of that. Shadow's definitely going after Sonic where it hurts to really push his morality, to waver his positive spirit of helping and not hurting people. And from the looks of this trailer, Sonic's going to be pushed to his absolute limit, where I feel like he's going to go against his own morals. What I'm saying is, we're going to get a No Way Home scene, but with Sonic, and it'll absolutely break my heart because I love Ben Schwartz Sonic. Don't do it, Sonic. You're a good boy. Don't let him tempt you. So overall thoughts, while this film won't be exactly what I want it to be entirely, it is exactly what I expect it to be, and even a little more. And I am very excited to see it. You expect me to sit my rump down the theater to watch it day one. Or, get invited to the premiere. If you want Paramount, my email's right there. It's kind of been my lifelong dream, and I really want to meet Ben Schwartz, if that's not already obvious. But this will be a very fun time. Every time one of these movies are coming out, it feels like a party, and this will be no different. I'm buying all the branded food products, I'm buying all the stupid toys, and you can bet your buck that I'm going to be making a bunch of fan posters for this. But before we go, we do have some fan art we need to look over from some very talented artists. First, we have a submission from a viewer named Alex, and I absolutely love your design for me. I especially love the big oval eyes. It makes the piece very unique. And if you're watching this, thank you very much for making this. And we have a few pieces from Lillian, who has been a big supporter on the channel and made all this adorable fan art of me. I mean, come on, I look adorable. Thank you, Lillian. Go follow her. She'll be linked in the description. But that's gonna do it, guys. Congratulations that you made it to the very end of this video. I'm so sorry I've been gone from making long form videos. My life really sucks right now, but I'm glad to be back making these videos. We got a lot planned. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming, so I hope you stay tuned for it. The shorts aren't going anywhere either. And thank you so much for getting me to 1K. I promise the next video is going to be talking about that. All this Sonic stuff kind of pushed it back. But if you want to send me fan art like you saw in the video and be featured in the showcase, you can @ me on my email or Twitter. That's the most likely place I'll see them. You can tag me on YouTube. The mentions are finicky sometimes, so I might not be able to see it immediately, but I'm constantly checking it. That's everything I gotta say, so I'll get out of your hair now.